Gonna do some very small skull studies today, just to get my idea of being a bit more comfortable with drawing them. I've been drawing a lot of skulls lately, just to get my anatomy knowledge of the head a bit more refined. Like, I can draw a portrait fine, no problem, but you know, I find when I'm working from photographs, I always find there's always just a little bit of proportion off that I don't get when I'm drawing with from life. And I feel like if I had that anatomy knowledge to kind of correct the photograph, and like maybe like put in like what I know would be there instead of like what just the photographer showed me, I'd be having an easier time with things. And of course I actually want to be able to teach this stuff, so I should be knowing the anatomy. It can only improve me, and it can only make me a better artist. So I shall take the time to do this. Let's draw as much as I can. And drawing skulls actually, to be honest, has been quite fun. Like, learn the anatomy. It's been like hard work getting a lot of this knowledge into me. But I just spend like an hour a day watching some videos, reading some stuff. And you know, maybe by the end of summer I'll be quite good at it. Or sooner, hopefully. Maybe by the end of summer I can get the full anatomy of the figure done. But sooner for just the head, eh? I'm just doing these small because I just want to be comfortable with actually just drawing what I'm seeing. These skulls. Still also trying to get the idea of kind of volumetric idea of that skull around as well. Like, I drew the mouth maybe a bit too flat there, while it's quite a rounded form. Maybe I could have brought that cheekbone in a little bit more. Yeah, that's fine for now. Let's do another bit of sculling. Now, got a side view here, and this looks like a 3D render. I also think the other one might have been a 3D render. I think it looks like a scan more than anything. Going a bit more gestural with this one. I notice like in the skull, like not a lot of things are like straight lines. It always kind of has a bit of a curve to it and everything. Even like this jawbone comes in and out, creating these lovely curves around. You see it all from most angles as well, that slight curve. The nose has been an interesting one to learn. It's actually so short, that dip down from the glabella, which is like your brow, or that like key of the brow. The actual where the nasal bone tip is, I always thought was a bit longer. Look, I drew his head a bit too tall. I think we can go a bit smaller. That is the frontal bone, if I recall. We just call this the perineal, maybe, and that's temporal, and that's or. No, that's or something. Or. I need to go back to my books. I mean, it's not the end of the world not to know, but I might as well know it. It's the backbone of your skull, anyway. This is like where your temporal muscle, and like this bit here is the temporal actual bone. Where are we going? We were on the old maxilla there, which is like the bit of your mouth sits on, and kind of like actually goes up to the nose a little bit too, intersecting with the nasal bone. And then your jawline, that's what we call the mandible. Let's do some shading here before we move on to another skull again. Just make it a little bit more volumetric. I'm not going to go in and draw all the teeth. But you can even see in like the actual, on the side view, that actually still has quite a rounded form to it altogether. Alright, where's our next skull? That's kind of too long. There we go. We'll go this side. Trying it a bit bigger maybe this time. The idea of the corner, which is like, or like, you know, if your head was a box or the skull was a box, from the brow to that kind of jawbone here as it turns in, that'd be like where the step, the light turns. Like this is the front, this is the back kind of thing. Just want to get a very clear view of that. Maybe I won't go as detailed with this one, we'll just get the actual form down. But also maybe we will. We'll see. I've done this quite dark now, the actual the pen I put down, so I might not be able to go too far with it. So I'm going to try to just confirm those ideas of big shapes anyway throughout my drawing. And again, the curve of that jaw. This also looks like a 3D render. Do I have any photos of real skulls? I can't tell. They seem fairly accurate though, so we're okay. Let's go on to another one. Where are we? Oh, I think I drew the skull already in one of my last videos, right? In the graphite, I think. The idea of just turning, let's just make some simple shapes for now. Septum's always a bit, that nasal cavity is always a bit higher than I think. I have to remember that. Where are we going here? There we go. Still don't have the idea of that glabella in. We'll just throw pretty simple marks down. Be a bit abstract on our mark making. Like even though if I put this big shape down, like I'm using it as a guideline, I don't need to stick inside it too much. Just trying to get the idea of a skull pressed into my brain so much that I really don't need to look at reference images anymore to think of all the parts inside it and how we view it. Part of practice is repetition. As much of trying to actually correct everything, like just doing it a lot is very important. Maybe not actually no, I was going to say it's not the most fun part, but it is actually quite enjoyable. Sometimes just spending your time just drawing some skulls and whatever you're trying to learn. Well, it's fun if you actually really want to learn the thing. If I was here drawing still lives, I would not be enjoying myself too much. not a big still life person. But anatomy, the human figure, big fan. Just so much form going on, so much intersecting parts to make this like fluid figure is oh so interesting. Different ways to represent with mark making and all that good stuff. You can see like I'm drawing quite loose, but I mean the skull's still there, the skull's still there, the skull's still here. Do I have one more picture? Oh, this is nice. It's from underneath. Okay. Don't know if I've ever drawn a skull from this view before, so it'll be good to see how it goes. I'll just stick with the big shapes and the gesture of what I can see. Surely that will help me. Just gotta stick to the process that I trust and has helped me before. And that I'm like comfortable with, you know. Like all this way of drawing is not something I've just come up with myself. And a lot of people use it. I just use it in the way that suits me. You know, you learn from so many people and so many different artists that you just take a little bit from everyone, and then that's how your style comes about. You don't need to try and make your style. You learn from different bits that you like, different artists you like. Just take small bits, something that sticks with you, and then you can use that. That'll just be in your repertoire of learning. It will stick with you throughout your art career, or art life, I suppose. It doesn't necessarily have to be a career. You know, I'm like up and down about I'm at some point I wanted to, you know, just sell there, and some point I wanted to lots of different things. Right now I think I just want to teach it. That'd be very happy for me. I think last time I used to sell the art a little bit, but I never really liked giving it away. I don't mind throwing my art in the bin, but giving it away seemed a bit weird. And I think making art for money kind of threw off my love for it a lot of the time. Well, my real love for art is just learning it. You know, I enjoy every single bit of the learning process. It's never dull. A drawing is always a bit difficult. I need to focus a little bit. I always learn just something a little bit new. I always make mistakes. And that will never change. Like the way I draw and the way I learn, or the way I draw will change, but that's only from learning and making mistakes. I actually don't mind this skull from the bottom that I drew. It'd be a little bit too messy, but still got the idea down, I think. Yeah. Okay, thanks for joining me for these studies, these quick little sketches. They're quite fun to do. Get anything you like. I suppose if you're working small, use a pen or just maybe a mechanical pencil. But some quick studies of skulls are always good to do. I've been doing I did one there. I think those are some nose studies. Yeah. Did I do that on video, or did I just do that myself? Can't quite recall. But I always keep my sketches quite loose for the most part. And it's just good to do. Right, that one was for the video. That one was from life. Yeah. Sorry, what am I saying? Go learn and study.